Cold open. Twist that a little bit forward. Okay, so welcome everyone. I was listening to this song because it was amazing. Oh boy. So, welcome. It is I, UngoCast, and welcome to the Burning Bush podcast. This is episode 14, titled something about me never doing a political. Okay, the very last political episode ever. And I think we all can understand that looking back at these episodes, the past few ones I've been talking about, and what was said then, no matter what time in the future, I think that is the political message that is getting across. And as for if my view changes on all the things I've said in the past, then, well, I probably won't. I don't know. You know, people change, and that's allowed. But as for anything further about any situation out there, and I guess it's largely subjective what you consider political aspects now, and I guess anything that affects everyone in our country is. But of course, give you your welcome intro and recap and such. But the real no, we've already done Frozen. There we go. The real issue I want to talk about, first and foremost, is Rooster Teeth in Flames. Now, what is Rooster Teeth? Well, for many people, they have no idea. Like, I've talked to a lot of people and asked them, do you know what Rooster Teeth is? And they say no. And I explain to them, as I'm explaining now, Rooster Teeth was a website / YouTube channel, and it's grown into some bigger and more profound company that is owned by HBO, which is owned by Warner, which is owned by whatever, and so they got sucked into all of this. And why is it in flames? Well, two core members of one channel, Funhouse, and the other channel, just the main achievement hunter team, as they're called, for achievements they hunt in video games, little challenges and what have you. And one member of Funhouse, one member of Achievement Hunter were exposed for sexual allegations made against them, one of which was soliciting minors, and he's married and has kids, hooking up with, fans of his content. And the other one, allegedly sending photos to a catfish, someone who wasn't who they said they were, and him sending these photos to that person or people, and those including of him doing inappropriate things at work sexually, with his wife, apparently unbeknownst to her knowledge, and various other sexual acts of himself. And because of that, they were both fired, and both respective communities and the Rooster Teeth parent umbrella company as a whole are currently dealing with a lot right now. And as someone who is very attached to the idea of the yin and yang of a lot of these things, I try to see things with as much of a scope as possible. And for me, that's understanding that, everyone's human and people make mistakes. There are different levels of mistakes people make. And, it's up to you whether or not you forgive them or not. And for me personally, although the allegations are horrible, and if I was, related to one of these girls that were taken advantage of, or if I was, you know, a close friend or a coworker with one of these people, I would understand the confusion and betrayal and hatred. But then I also understand that there is compassion in this world, and people that you profoundly care about, um, despite what they do, you would forgive them. And what's inevitably happened is that neither of which have been forgiven. Both of which, coworkers they were with for over a decade, and good friends with also, now say they hate them, they despise them, they're disgusting people for their sexual allegations, and the community is pretty much agreeing with these people. And well, that's fine. I'm not complaining against that. Personally, I feel the opposite. I mean, I can empathize because I've done that in my own personal life. And, you know, you might see something, and this is why this is going to be my last political episode, because this is a lot of topics that are very heavy, and I don't want it to be construed as my entire persona. So this is going to be that one episode, I feel like. And so I'm of the opinion that people's works should not reflect their personal lives outside of it. And the fact that both of these people were exposed for something that was not, consented by them, as twisted as that sounds, you can't, or at least I wouldn't, in those situations, have immediately cast off someone like that, because while it's the obvious thing to do, and it's the most visceral reaction from all of these people, I think there are a subsect of people like me who are like, well, what about the fact that you guys have known each other for that long, and does that mean that you guys are more willing to support popular condemnation of things than personal regard for something? And I've been having this conversation with this guy because I commented on a video about them talking about how disgusting my background character is there. And I was born and raised on 4chan's iron internet will, in the sense that no matter what you say on the internet, you just can't care. Like, you just can't even take it in any sense or form, because I mean, even if I got doxed, what is that gonna do? Are you gonna hurt me? Is that physically gonna hurt me if you swap me? Like, those are things that people have done in the past to other streamers and that sort of thing. And what does that accomplish? Do you intend to become the thing that you resist or claim not to be? I mean, silence people's opinions and voices that you don't agree with, even though me saying words has no bearing. You can block me. That's fine. I will never appear in your life ever again, and that's fine. You have the power to do that. But all these other places like Reddit and Twitter and all these other places have kind of concocted this view that if everyone kind of dogpiles on any idea, you're safe. But as soon as you're the one being dogpiled, or as soon as you don't agree with the dogpiling, you become othered. And othered is not good. Never is. It's actually a derogatory term to refer to people who are not a part of the norm. And that's not it's not a literal term. Like, if you ever say you're other, that means like you're using some super derogatory term. No. I'm just saying that you would not fit within the society that's being created, where it's this one track mind that if you don't agree with us, you are wrong. And while there's a lot of things I think people are wrong about, the idea of creating boundaries to where you're not allowed to think otherwise, and you should be afraid if you think otherwise, that's just wrong. That's not what, at least I was taught, and the impression of our country was. I mean, and that's one of the major issues that I want to address, and why this is going to be that episode, because it's been a very interesting past, I would say, 6 years of growth I've had, and within those 6 years, what that means. And so let's dive into this comment thread. There you go. Okay. This is going to be interesting. Wait. Okay. How do I make this? Okay. I'll just click on this video. So this video is them basically condemning my background, Ryan Haywood. And so this is what I said. Buckle up, buckaroo, because this is going to get crazy. So, I say, that monster, how quickly we are to crucify those we once loved. This is disgusting indeed. Don't plan on coming back to Rooster Teeth or Funhouse. Disappointed how you will condemn people in spite of their deepest flaws. I understand, though. My brother did the same thing as a convicted pedophile. Now I hate him. Okay. Is this a troll post? Yes. Did I lie? No. A little backstory that I kind of obligatorily will have to give. I didn't consider this when making this topic because I didn't realize how relevant this conversation I was going to have with this random guy on the internet would be. But that is a true statement, technically. And so take with it what you will. If anything, I'm in the right, according to popular belief, because dogpiling on someone that is, on all accounts, someone despicable is validated. So, either you hate me or you understand my position. I will accept either. A proper schmuck response to that comment. What Ryan did was very wrong. Although I believe that everyone deserves second chances and that one day he might be able to better himself, it doesn't excuse the fact that he hurt very many people, so he has to leave to make things right for his family. Did you just watch the first few minutes and then comment and click off once Jack called him a monster? The issue here is what Ryan did. These people at Rooster Teeth have been working alongside Ryan for a decade now. Can you blame them for acting with shock, anger, and sadness? I'm baffled by your comment, as you say you won't be watching them anymore, but you immediately follow up with how you understand Jack's feelings because you say your own brother is a pedophile, whom you hate. You're essentially getting upset at Jack for condemning a bad individual and his bad actions, but you yourself have done the exact same with your own brother. Please don't attack the AH crew for being hurt by a person whom they thought was better. Ryan's departure is for the best. I'm sure you and everyone will still be able to enjoy Achievement Hunter's videos, so you don't need to abandon the community, friend. Oh god, I'm so sorry, a proper schmuck. I baited you so hard. I don't know why you responded or felt the need to respond to such a way, but I had to respond back, in which I said, you're right. I only watched until they condemned Ryan and called him a monster. What you don't understand is that I brought up my brother because I needed confirmation from a diehard fan like you that it's okay to immediately turn your back on someone you've known for decades, like I did my brother, and like you were doing for Ryan. I haven't watched RT since 2014, so I pretty much baited you there. Their content along with Funhouse has gone downhill over the past few years. Proper schmuck response. This is the first time I've had a little debate with someone in the comments like this before, so please excuse me if I interpreted your comment the wrong way. I have several questions regarding your initial comment and then your reply. But now I don't really want to ask them because it looks like you just wanted to start a fight and get a reaction because you thought I was a massive fan. And so you ended it off by saying they're content. They are content. By saying they are content isn't as good as before. Hey man, that's your opinion. I don't mind. I actually wouldn't know what their past stuff was like because I only started watching last year. I hope I didn't come off as an attacking diehard fan because I really didn't mean to. No. Okay. So I'll read the rest of it. I had good intentions and ultimately wanted to just see why Jack might be mad and get you to enjoy the Crew's content again like I do. But you said you haven't watched them since 2014, so I'm a little confused as to why you're here in the first place. Just to spread your negativity? Your comment just rubbed me the wrong way. My day has already been lame enough, so I'm gonna jerk off and go to bed. Sending regards from Canada. I'm sorry, proper schmuck. I'm really sorry. Because, you're just trying your best to be polite. You're just trying your best to be polite. You're just trying your best to be polite. And so I just want to kind of dissect how I interpreted your comment. And this is like what people are dealing with now because of this controversy with the two members of Rooster Teeth doing these allegations, which, that's that. And me, I don't care. I don't watch their content. I used to. Doesn't mean I don't like them. Doesn't mean I didn't like Ryan. Doesn't mean I didn't like Adam Kovic. And the fact that I don't watch them now is my own personal choice, yes. And, well, it's just, one, they've been deleting content that doesn't fit their PC-ness, which is fine. You can be PC all you want. I'm just not going to watch it anymore, or support it, because it's just empty and soulless. That's my opinion. You can have yours. I have the freedom of speech to say what I want on the internet. And if you want to suppress my speech, it's not hate speech. The only thing I hate is my brother, apparently. And so, first thing he says is, it looks like you just wanted to start a fight. My friend, if I wanted to start a fight, I would have been the one replying to your comment. But sir, a proper schmuck, you were the one that responded to my comment. I said I baited you, and you just kept on getting reeled in. Yeah. So I didn't start a fight. You're the one that started a fight. And get a reaction. I did want to get a reaction, but I didn't want to start a fight. So that's clearly wrong, because if I'm the one making a comment, anyone after that, anyone who antagonizes me for my own views, I'm just putting my views out there. Anyone's allowed to put their views out there. You can judge it all you want. That's fine. You're allowed. Winky winky. But to say that I'm instigating a fight, that's pretty over the top, dude. I called you a massive fan because you had the not audacity, sorry. That's a little rude. You had the prerogative to respond to my comment because you felt personally responsible for what I said. Sure, fine. Go ahead. Good for you. And you're saying that's your opinion, I don't mind. Good. I don't mind your opinion either. It's a free country. Well, Canada too. But YouTube, it's a free space. Once it doesn't become a free space, then you won't have to worry about me anymore, and you can all just sniff each other's farts. So have fun with that. And okay, so you're backstepping now. You're saying you're not a diehard fan, so you don't want to be lumped in with all these people who are diehard fans like me, technically, because I started watching. If you want to go with an appeal to diehardness, which you are saying you're not, I am technically a diehard fan because find out that you didn't watch them Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth till recently, so I've technically known them longer than you. So, my opinion, your opinion, we both have our own views, and neither of us are right or wrong. But I know historically more about them. And yes, I haven't watched recently, so that may add up to an evening out. But um, uh, 6 years for 6 years, it'll even out. You know what? Let's just agree that neither of us are superior, and anything I say shouldn't be taken so so roughly. I don't know, man. Like, uh, I literally respond with, yes, I'm here to spread negativity indeed. I don't think you know what a troll is. You're a stranger, so for all intents and purposes, I don't intend to harm you. I think I have to clarify that because you're acting so painfully Canadian with your over-willingness to simp for some obvious troll. Canada is great, and I'm sure freedom of speech is appreciated there. Rooster Teeth is a shill company that has gone downhill. Its values are shit, and Ryan Haywood is a legend. Adam Kovic is a legend as well, except he's a bit more of a dick, so I understand his hate. Well, you can't. Leave while you can. You're wasting breath, much like I am, by trying to reply to your overbearing seriousness. You've already addressed all the red flags about my comments. Stop reading into it like I have any credibility. Ha 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 ha. Rooster Teeth is a dead horse. They're actively removing their best content because of something irrelevant to the content itself. Similarly, you are not allowed to like Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson, Kevin Spacey, Louis C.K., John Wayne, and all these people were exposed over some controversy because apparently their public work is connected to their personal lives. The amount of Orwellian bullshit people are complicit in nowadays is pathetic. Wake up and smell the cringe. If you really want to enjoy some neck-bearded conversations, I recommend watching Retro Replay. At least they don't act like they have more clout than they deserve. These people at Rooster Teeth are acting all surprised that their staff had these kinds of issues, as if every one of them is perfect, and these issues don't happen to the best of us. I'm sorry that my opinions rub you the wrong way, but that's what happens when you get stuck in an echo chamber of a bunch of autistic Reddit white knight collectivists that don't let any opinions contrary to beliefs see the light of day. This is, for a lot of people, a wake-up call. Either you adjust your frame of mind and realize that these companies, along with social media, are all corralling viewers like you into believing a certain way, condemning people you've known for decades, or you remain livestock to the political machine that is consuming Western civilization. Empathy is gone in today's society, and soon you will realize that the Salem witch trails were not so ridiculous. Holy shit, Lamau. He loves it. Like, I don't know if he realizes how much is going on right here with this motion right here. You can't see it because my little background correction. There you go. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be reeling in a fishing rod because maybe I shouldn't bait people on YouTube comments. I think I'm gonna leave that to Reddit. No, I just can't help it. I'm sorry. Ban me from YouTube. Ban me from Reddit. Ban me from Twitter. Go ahead. I'm not actively, calling Reddit white knight collectivist autistic. That's offensive. I apologize for that. Autism is a very serious disease, and it's very childish of me to call someone autistic. But my 4chan mean-spiritedness is slipping out. I apologize for that. That was uncalled for. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm gonna be canceled, so fudge. Just fudging A, dude. I shouldn't have said that. Dang it. My career's over. My career's over. And you think I'm not taking this seriously, but I am. It's just ridiculous how much you think that freedom of speech should be suppressed, that I shouldn't say these things, or I shouldn't be allowed to say these things in a public venue. I can keep these thoughts to myself, but to spread them around is heresy. We need to silence opinions that are contrary to our own, regardless of their nature, especially if they're, like, I don't know. Like, obviously all this stuff is hella mean, and you're just feeding into it. You're feeding a troll right now. And I don't know what to tell you. So, he says, "Look, friend, I just wanted to try to get you to like these level people again, lol. I had no idea you had such passion and bitterness regarding RT and such a cynical view on society and all that jazz. Don't take that the wrong way. I agree with you on some things you said, but holy shit, man. I just like them because funny internet people make funny epic video game videos XD, and I enjoy them more on a personal level. You know, the H crew themselves as people. I don't associate the crew with Rooster Teeth. I associate Rooster Teeth with the crew, if you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, no, I do know what you're saying. But yeah, I'm sorry you don't enjoy them anymore and harbor all this resentment regarding the matter. Like I said, I just thought you were a fan who was in denial of Ryan getting booted, and I want to try to calm you down. And I still think Ryan's departure was the right move, don't get me wrong. I love his personality and humor, but everyone knowing the things he did would make the workplace fucking awful. And no one would want to be around him anymore, and content would be impossible to create. But yeah, the sudden dark turn gave me a little chuckle, and it was unexpected. Thanks for replying. Thanks, dude. You finally get it. Um, but yeah, no. Wow. You actually kept your cool. I appreciate it. Okay. I'm just gonna say it this way. Which, of course, I'm gonna send you a link to this video because the first half of this is me commenting on our conversation for content purposes. So, you know, um, so I'll send you a link to this so you can watch my breakdown of it, uh, of this lovely comment thread. Um, so I'll respond to it later, but yeah, no, you definitely figured it out. It took some, you know, took some real just that, but you finally get it. You're starting to open the veil, and so I'm gonna send a response later with the URL to this video so you can listen for yourself. I don't hide behind a username even when I say things like this because the only thing I have to fear is death. So if you plan on killing me, I've already considered that. So you can rest easy now. You took that right on the chin very well. Good job. And so this is what the community is reacting to. And this is how they're reacting. And so what does this mean? You saw my personal views there. I think that yes, what he did was wrong. Yes, he should be fired. And what Schmuck said was also correct. The last comment he made was like 100% agree with. I 100% agree with the last comment he made. Everything on that was was exactly it. And look at 362 people dislike this video. I didn't dislike the video, at least, if that makes you feel better. I'll even like the video. No, I won't. I'm not gonna like it. But yeah. So, you know, that's the situation right now, and I'm of the view that if you knew someone closely, you should not feel like you should be judged for siding with the person accused, regardless of if they did the thing or not. And as you can read in my comment initially of my brother, which is my own personal experience, and I am doing what Rooster Teeth has done, and I am not getting along with that person. But I think what I'm trying to instigate here, and instigate is the word I want to use because yes, it was a troll post. But what I'm trying to instigate here is the people that know the person that is convicted of something the most should feel the least judged when they want to side with them. Whether you want to call that Stockholm syndrome or what. I'm just saying that the person that knows the accused the most shouldn't feel obligated to condemn them like society is doing. To think about Ryan Haywood as a person that I watched in high school, I watched probably Rooster Teeth from 2011 to 2014, I would say. And Funhouse or Inside Gaming from 2011 till 2019, 2020. I pretty much kept up with them that whole time, and people came and left on that channel as well. And now Adam Kovic is one of those people. So, like, those types of people shouldn't feel like they have to choose the popular decision. Like for me, I don't condone anything either would have done. If I was, Adam's wife, I would be livid. If I was Ryan's wife and kids, I'd be livid. Doesn't mean if I was his kids, I would never talk to him again. I would say, "You're not my dad." It's their choice. It's their decision. And all I'm saying is, my opinion shouldn't feel like it's a unacceptable opinion, that no one is allowed to have empathy for people who are accused of things. And that's why this whole thing with Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth and Funhouse is something I wanted to bring up, because although it's not like a very mainstream news headline and it's not relatively new, it happened about a week and a half ago, it's still something I wanted to bring up because of my aforementioned history in that comment thread. It was golden. I couldn't not read that comment thread, honestly. And proper schmuck, I give a nice fedora tip to you for being such a good sport. Or I guess in Canuck talk, I give you a good old sorry, and then carry on my way. But yeah, so that's that. And another reason why this is going to be that episode is because I need to bring this up. I said this is going to be my last political episode, and I have a cold intro. I didn't have any funny little video that got me demonetized in the beginning. I just had, a cold intro, and so what's hashtag walk away? Hashtag walk away is a hashtag that is considered a meme by a lot of people. Stephen Colbert, late night show host, said that it's a meme that people are leaving the left for conservative lifestyles. They're all using the hashtag walk away, like they're walking away from the Democratic Party in favor of the Republican Party. And if you've been watching my past few podcast episodes, you can tell that I've definitely felt that way. Living here in California is, as much as it can be, that lifestyle 24/7. And so what I wanted to talk about, which is kind of related to what I was commenting with Schmuck, is that freedom of speech is not guaranteed. I think very soon there's going to be a time where these comments I've made on this video, or on this video in my video, and the things I'm saying now are not going to be allowed on Twitch, on YouTube, whatever. And so I'm going to be deplatformed. And if that's a roundabout way of suppressing freedom of speech, then, so be it. I'll find ways of getting my voice out. And if that's something that's not okay, then it's eventually going to be taken to courts. And that's what people are talking about now, is that the level of mainstream media and its cahoots with social media has become such a disgusting thing that I am actually freely advertising. I don't want to be paid for this at all, but I'm advertising for Parler, um, the free speech social network, in which oh gosh, in which it's like Twitter, but you won't be denied for saying whatever you feel like, which is how the internet used to be. Which is how everything used to be on the internet, and now someone's taken over the internet and has made it curated. So I'm not sponsored by Parler. I'm not taking any money from them. I just highly recommend Parler because it is not going to take down your posts for being controversial. It's not going to take down things if they're not overtly hate messages, or even then I don't know if they would take down your posts. And that's because why would that matter? There was a phrase that some people don't believe anymore, which is sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And I still believe that. So freedom of speech is something that can never be taken away from us, given that no one will deal with that. And that being said, I'm walking away. I'm done with it. There's a lot of things that I don't agree with anymore that I used to believe in. And what is that? What is that? I'm going to do this while I talk about it because it'll kind of elucidate some of my points. And this is very bright. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So, the test. So it's going to ask you a bunch of things on your political view, and it'll give you a compass of whether you're conservative economically or liberal economically, and whether or not you are authoritative or socialist. So this is where my political view stands now, and this is why I'm walking away. Because a lot of these things are obvious political questions, and I have obvious answers now. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. Economics. What is economics? The production, consumption, and transfer of wealth, and the knowledge thereof. The condition of a region or group as regards material prosperity. Strongly disagree. Transnational corporations are what economic globalization is about. And if our business, China's an easy target right now, but if you take a look at China, what they do for the world, if we just say, no, we're not going to do that, and let them do that, what's going to happen? You decide, but personally, I think if economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve economic purposes. Humanitarian discussion is an afterthought, like with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which is, they use their economics to drive their philanthropic endeavors because they have so much money in it. They have left over that spills over. And I don't think that's a bad system. I'd always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. Strongly agree. I support my country, but the mistakes it makes are things that I don't support. And is that a contradiction? No, you can support your country without approving of the wrong things it does. You can change those things. It's very rigid minded to believe that you can only support your country when it's good. Like you can what? You can't support your children only you can only support your children when they're good. Like that's in oh, you can't compare your country to your child. Well, yes you can if you're a patriot. Um no one chooses their country of birth. So it's foolish to be proud of it. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. I disagree. I don't strongly disagree because I know there's a lot of people that would strongly agree, understandably so. But basically, if I was born in Mexico or born in North Korea is a better example, is it foolish to be proud of my country? No, I disagree. That's why I disagree. I don't strongly disagree because I don't think it's foolish to be proud of it, but I think it's foolish to think that it's a great country. I think that pretty much explains it pretty well. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. Our race has many. What? I don't. That's not a political question. I strongly disagree for obvious reasons. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Strongly disagree. The enemy of my enemy could also be my enemy. That's a not really political question. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Strongly agree. If an international law said that no matter what North Korea does, you cannot attack them, as ridiculous as that sound, you're technically defying international law. If they, nuked Los Angeles. North Korea nuked Los Angeles, and international law said that you cannot retaliate in a nuclear, there has to freeze everything or something like that. And you say, no, we're not sitting down for this. Then yes, I strongly agree. There's now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. Strongly agree. That's what I was just talking about, so I'm not even going to sugarcoat what I feel about that right now. People are ultimately divided more by class than nationality. Yes. What? Yes. There's always going to be winners and losers. That's kind of yeah. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Unemployment seems pretty independent of a lot of factors in my personal view, experience, and whatnot, which is very limited, I will admit. So controlling inflation, I would agree, is very important because at least in the time I've been working, I've experienced fluctuations in it. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. Yes, I would agree. I don't strongly agree with that because I think there's a vested self-interest, regardless of how evil a corporation is, to appease a certain crowd of people that are conservationists, regardless of if they are an oil and whatever company, they still consider that. So I don't strongly agree that, they can't be trusted, um, but yeah. From each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea. Disagree. That's a Communist Manifesto quote, basically saying that input should equal output all the time, and the idea that things should have value equal to their workload, I don't agree with, because I think a lot of my favorite art that I have hung up in my room is considered worthless art. It's a smear of blue paint. It's a big old stencil of a comic book picture. It's a signed jersey. Those things shouldn't be worth that much, but they are, because arbitrary value of things that we like. The freer the market, the freer the people. I would agree with that. I wouldn't strongly agree, but the most open markets have the least restrictions on what you can do, and the less restrictions you have on yourself, the more free you are. And that's a broad definition, and it's a very vague question, so I'm not going to strongly agree with that. It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product. Strongly disagree, because of the vapid nature of consumerism in our world, something as necessary, not basic, as necessary as water is now a bottled, branded product that you can ship off for cents on the dollar to countries that struggle to get clean water. The fact that we have consumer bottled product placement of water now means that water is accessible, and to people who previously couldn't access water, now they can. So I don't think it's sad. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. Disagree. It's difficult to justify this position because it's a very opinionated piece that I believe that because people have a freedom of will, we have the freedom to put value into things, and we have also the power to take things. And those are core human values that, regardless of how many rules we agree by, we can never kind of get rid of. And so at all times, this is something that someone can consider, and if someone can consider this and believe in this, that it should be bought and sold, then I can't say that it should never be. So that's why I disagree. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. Strongly disagree with that one. If you can manipulate money, that means you are in some ways intelligent. So contribute nothing to society, you're teaching society on how to cheat the system. If you're allowed to do it, anyone should be. And so you can learn from someone like that. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. I forget what protectionism means in trade. Theory of practice for shielding countries to taxing imports. Protectionism. Okay, what helps our country? Our people. Yeah, I don't want China taking over. I don't strongly agree, but I believe in a free market, but I don't believe in a world market that is benevolent in keeping our country strong. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver profit to its shareholders. Yes. A company is made to make money. It's not made to make people happy. The rich are too highly taxed. Disagree. I think they're adequately taxed. I don't think they're too highly taxed. I don't think they're undertaxed either. Anyways, those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. Strongly agree. Of course. You can get a base level of medical care, but if you want better medical care, you should be given the opportunity to pay for it. I don't think people really understand that that's not really a controversial thing. Like, if everyone has access to basic health care, hence, the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, which is, in my own experience working in clinics and in healthcare, is not very well implemented. someone who has money and wants to get better treatment than that should be able to. No one should be entitled to the best treatment there is. Everyone should be entitled to treatment that would save their lives. But if you want an even better treatment and you have the money to pay for it, that's how our country runs. It's sad to say, but that's how it works. Governments should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. I agree because that's shitty and that's misleading, but also disagree because government should stay out of economy. Kind of strongly disagree with that, I'll be honest. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. A genuine free market requires restrictions on predator multinationals to create monopolies. I disagree with that. I think a genuine free market is free regardless of the cost of a multinational cannibalizing everything else. That's the definition. It's free because you're allowed to do that. If you're not allowed to do that, then it's not actually a free market. So. And the test goes on. It's longer than I anticipated, but I just wanted to say that my views have changed significantly, and I believe that the First Amendment is at stake here. I believe that one of the things I talked about here, and this was my walkaway statement, the idea that we should be independent economically, that we don't have to rely on China for things or the Middle East for oil. To be isolationist is not a bad in the sense of economics. If we are independent, self-sustaining economically, and our imports and exports and whatever, or our imports mainly, then is that a bad thing? Why is that a bad thing? Ideology. Americans have no culture. That's something that I've been kind of force-fed my whole time in going to UC Santa Cruz, voting Hillary, doing all of these things that were very progressive and liberal, and all these things. Like constantly I heard, there is no culture in America. Americans have no culture, and I strongly disagree with that. I believe that Americans have their own culture. I believe that we do. We've had one for some time now, as long as I've been alive. And to say otherwise is just something I don't agree with anymore. And people on the right seem to agree in that aspect that, it's not like we don't have culture. I'm allowed to be a patriot. I shouldn't feel threatened when I support our president, support our government, in the sense that they shouldn't take away our liberties. They shouldn't misinterpret how we are to live, which is to be free. And I just don't think that a lot of these things that have been going on with very liberal groups have really catered to the idea that I can be proud to be an American, that I am proud to have the right to bear arms, the freedom of speech, the independence of race from inequality, that we shouldn't have to fear who we are as people would drive us to be lesser than others. The camaraderie of appreciating one another. It seems like the left vehemently, legitimately hates other people, and that's not how I feel. I disagree with a lot of things, but I don't actually hate. And the mainstream media, what I was talking about with Parler, like literally shutting down anyone who has a contrary opinion, not even like radical opinion, just contrary opinion to the left right now, and the censorship thereof. Those have all driven me to make this episode into that episode, and why I've become extremely conservative over the past few weeks and months. And maybe it's a phase. I'm not above myself to say it isn't, but also a lot of the things I'm saying seem to be reasonable now, and a lot of people against me don't, not even against me, but a lot of things I've heard are very against what I believe, and what it seems to happen to other people is that they get shut down. So I'm walking away. I'm sorry to say it, but next time there's a JFK running for presidency, I'll probably vote for them, like Obama. You know, that's about all I can say. And so I hope you appreciated watching this episode. It was a very, very tense one, and it'll be my last political one ever. Thank you. Go ahead and watch one of Ryan Haywood or Adam Kovic's videos before they get taken down. They're hilarious people. I don't condone what they did, and they are rightfully to be fired. I don't believe that they should be hated by their friends, but that's just me. Peace out.